All right, well, welcome back. Joining us this morning on First Coast News Plus is Adam Gotsis, a NFL player, 10-year veteran, and a former Jacksonville Jaguar. He's also the highest drafted Australian football player in the league history. Adam is breaking down the Super Bowl matchup, sharing his predictions, and giving us a player's perspective on what it takes to prepare for the biggest game like the Super Bowl and, of course, the playoffs. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's awesome to be here.
Well, listen, Adam, we know this is a big week, and going into football, going into the Super Bowl, tell us what goes through a player's mind during big games like the playoffs and such as the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Super Bowl, you've got that 2-week lead-up period. So generally that first week, it's going to be a lot of mental reps, focusing, getting those practice reps in. Not a lot of contact. The physicality's kind of dialed down. So just, a lot of walkthroughs, practicing the situations they're going to be in, watching tape, getting as much as that you possibly can in before you travel over to the city you're in and, start that week of game prep. So, there's a lot of things that go on, but really it's like trying to maintain that focus, the routine, doing all the little things right, and then, traveling over, handling all the media, Super Bowl preparations, parade, all that stuff, and then getting into the game.
And ultimately, it's about winning the game, right?
You
could do, like you said, we were talking, you could do all that having a good time after you win the game.
Definitely. It's about, you're going there to win a game, you're going there to handle business. And like we said earlier, the celebrations after the week are going to be, the real celebrations. I don't think any of the guys are really celebrating too much right now because you don't want to get ahead of it.
Yeah.
But, both teams have had great seasons. They're at the dream of every kid, every player that's played football. You want to be in this game, but it's about going out there, handling business, and then, enjoying it afterwards.
Well, speaking of dreams, you talked about dreaming of playing the game of football, and now the game will be played in your hometown in Australia. Tell me what it's like to even be able to possibly one day play where you're from.
Yeah, I think it was last Super Bowl, the NFL announced the news that, Melbourne, Australia was going to have a three-game series, I think, coming up these next 3 seasons to open the season. And it really is a dream. I never would have thought the game would get to the point where they're hosting games in Australia, in my backyard. I grew up right next door to the stadium, about 10, 15 minutes away. And it's literally one of the sporting capitals of the world, Melbourne. So we've got great fans of all sports. We welcome a bunch of different sports, and fans have really got behind the NFL as we've started getting more Australian-born athletes playing in the league and representing Australia over here in the States. A chance for those guys to be on teams potentially playing in Australia. It's huge.
So are they bigger fans than us, though?
I think America does the sports crazy. From an entertainment perspective, from a fan's perspective, they do it all right. The lead up to games, the tailgating, all that stuff. But I think Australia's got a few things in store. I think them partnering with the NFL and the NFL bringing over how they do their sport, I think it's really going to be a spectacle, and so many fans and football lovers around the world get a chance to watch this beautiful game and not have to come to America and do all that traveling. It's going to be back home in the home country. So I think for them to get to experience the tailgating and just the entertainment level that, America brings to sport will be amazing.
We love it. All right. We also want to know what happens in the locker rooms, because leading up to the game, everyone's all excited for the game and everything, but the locker room is where, you start to focus on exactly what you need to do in order to win this game.
Yeah, and that comes down to a lot of leadership on the teams. I think it's on the leaders to make sure that their team stays focused on what the task is at hand. So making sure guys aren't getting distracted. There's a lot of things happening, media obligations, organizing travel for the family, just things happening around you that can shift your focus from what the focus should be. And it's about those leaders keeping everyone grounded, keeping everyone, on level heads, level playing field, and just saying, deal with that stuff later. There's times for that, but we got to focus on this game. So it's making sure guys are in the film room, maybe having extra little meetings, position group wise, and just ironing out the details of the game, keeping the focus on the game. It's about reserving your energy, staying focused, doing all those little things. But I always found being grounded within your team, getting that extra moments with your teammates, with the guys on the team, whether it's just playing cards or spending time building those bonds, because you get a chance to do something very special and create a bond that you and your teammates are going to share for the rest of the time in history. And every time they talk about a Super Bowl, it's going to be, I remember that teammate, I remember what we're doing that week, I remember all those moments. So it's about making those special connections that you can hold on to.
Well, thank you for breaking down the X's and O's. What happened to our graphic? Our X's and O's graphic. We love having you on, and we wish you the best of luck in your future career, too, Adam Gotsis. You were speaking of team. I'm looking for my team. Where's my team at? I got Mike, I got Brody and Crystal.
What's your prediction?
I think.
Can you predict?
Yeah, it's gonna be a battle.
I think Cardi B is gonna win.
Yeah, both teams, defensive teams, both teams have shown up really well. But I'm gonna take the Seahawks 27-24.
Our assistant news director is gonna love you.
And
Jordan.
27-24. So see what happens. I think it'll be a close one.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah,
yeah, I like your prediction.
Patriots, Cardi B.
Got to go with the Seahawks. It's gonna be here. It's gonna be on NBC 12 for the rest of your day.